Because here's the deal. If you don't have systems, you become a commodity. If you don't have systems, you can't get more reps under your belt. If you don't have systems, you will eventually be replaced by AI. I don't care how great of a video editor you are. If you suck on camera and you're not comfortable and you don't know how to speak, you're going to be
Ruslan.
Before we get into that, guys, my name is Ruslan, and this channel exists to encourage you to mastermind your business the master's way. All right, now let's get into the video. As of now, what do you believe are the most in-demand skill sets that would accelerate one's career? Well, Andre, can you give me a bit more information? What career, in what field? Because it would depend. If we're talking about YouTube, I'm gonna hit you guys with left field. Once you get past the basic technical level on how to set up a camera, how to light a room, and if you can get that set up and just be set it and forget it, which is what I recommend. If you can get that set up, set it, forget it, you can develop additional skills, not necessarily needing to be a fantastic editor. The skills I would recommend if you're trying to be a YouTuber is skills connected to public speaking. I don't care how great of a video editor you are. If you suck on camera and you're not comfortable and you don't know how to speak, you're going to be jacked up, right? So Andre said video creation, creative work, entrepreneurship. I know it's pretty broad, but I guess more creative folks. Okay, creative folk, perfect. So if you want to be the face of something, you got to learn to speak. People want to be heard. You first got to learn how to speak. That may look like, you guys see me on here and you're like, wow, some people think I'm a good communicator. I think I have a long ways to go personally, but that may look like teaching the kids at your local church, which I did. I've taught every grade at my local church, every grade, from the little babies all the way down up to high school. I used to run the junior high ministry 20 years ago. I used to run our junior high ministry. You know what that did? That got me comfortable communicating in front of the hardest audiences, which are middle school kids. Shout out to all y'all that are in youth ministry. But communicating allowed me to get the chops to continue communicating. Leading a Bible study, being in a Bible study discussion. If you could be in a Bible study that is communicative, like meaning like there's dialogue and not just monologue, it's a great way to hone in your communication chops. You got to learn how to speak, right? If you want to be on camera. I would say that ties into being able to persuade people, right? There's a passage, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it talks about how we are doing our best to persuade people with the truth of God. And so I would say, if you want to be on a camera, that's essential. Learning how to communicate, learning how to ask good questions, having good conversations, right? That's a skill set. Now, if you're talking about you want to be behind the camera, well, then learning how to set up a studio, learning how to live stream, learning how to edit, learning how to take a hour-long conversation, chop it down into shorts and reels and TikTok videos. You can use AI for that. You cannot use AI for that. The key underneath all of this is systems. Anything related to YouTube creativity is systems. Because here's the deal. If you don't have systems, you become a commodity. If you don't have systems, you can't get more reps under your belt. If you don't have systems, you will eventually be replaced by AI. If you just edit video and you're not constantly leveling up and leaning into the tools available to us, you will eventually be replaced. See, everybody thought AI was going to replace all the technical work. It didn't. It replaced all the creative work. It's replacing the creative work in real time. So you got to learn how to use those AI tools in your systems to be more efficient, to be faster. That may look like learning new software, new editing software. So what am I doing right now? In real time, I'm going back, I'm learning Pro Tools. I'm learning Pro Tools because in my system with my mixing engineer for music, he uses Pro Tools. I want to use Pro Tools. He uses Pro Tools. Boom. We have a system and it's faster. I'm also learning what my producer friends are doing regarding to leveraging different AI tools for drum creation, bass line creation, areas I'm weak. There's tools now to help me with that as a producer, as a creative, right? And so you have to lean on the tools available to you because you never can go against technology. Technology will always win. And so you got to lean into the technology and say which aspects of it are helpful. So I don't know, I use Canva, for example, right? Canva is a tool. I love using Canva for my designs. It's just easier for me to design stuff on Canva. You got to use the tools at your disposal and keep stacking and leveling it up. Not because you want to do everything, but because you want to be competent at everything to a level where you can offload stuff to other people. I know the ins and outs of running this YouTube channel, but I do very little shooting, editing, thumbnails, titles. I don't do any of that stuff. All of that is done for me because I've been able to use systems to get me to a certain point and then offload the work to have other people do it for me so I can focus on the main thing. What's the main thing? Me being on camera. Shout out to my man, Justin. He said, in my company, I don't hire people who don't use generative AI to make themselves more productive. Ruslan is right. It's an enhancer. Come on, man. He said, be careful with Canva. Your information can be hacked. I mean, listen, I think anything can be hacked, right? Anything can be hacked. So sure. But Canva for getting out simple ideas, even thumbnails. Like if I was starting all over right now, I probably would have had the whole team in Canva for thumbnails because you can create a template. You can work quick. It has all the tools Photoshop has for the most part, and you can pass files back and forth. So I would totally be in Canva. You could search up the files you're looking for. Like everything is in Canva. With Photoshop, which is what we use for our thumbnails, is multiple steps to making a thumbnail, right? But in Canva, it's all right there. So you got to lean into those things. So yes, generative AI, learning the tools, developing the additional skill sets to help you become an asset and not a liability. Because if you're an asset and you add value, here's how it works as an entrepreneur. And this is going to sound crazy to some of you guys, but let me break it down to you. As an entrepreneur, when you onboard someone, so say you right now are aspiring to get into the creative field, you don't know if you can build a YouTube channel or an audience, but you want to work with someone that's in this field because you understand the value of apprenticeship, of on the ground learning, and you want to be around people that are doing things that you want to do, and you just don't want to work a regular Joe job. You want to do something more interesting. Okay, here is how small business owners look at their investments in terms of teams. And it's going to shock some of you guys. So buckle up. Everyone I've talked to says they hope to get a 4x return on whatever they pay their staff. That's crazy. A 4x return. So that means if you get a job and you're making $50,000 a year working for a YouTuber, they are hoping that you actually generate them $200,000 a year. Why? Well, because there's a little thing called taxes. There's payroll. There's payroll taxes, there's regular taxes, there's insurance for workman's comp, there's all the fees we have to pay to run an LLC, there's the comps package in terms of like our whole team here, our full-time team here, we just got everybody Kaiser insurance, real good platinum insurance plans. All of that goes into compensating someone. And so in a real small business, and I've talked to multiple people that run multiple small businesses. That's their expectation. If they want a 4x return. I think that's kind of high personally, but that makes sense when you factor in everything it costs to onboard someone and employ someone. So do you have the ability to generate 4x the return of what you're being paid? And can you be an entrepreneur in an organization where you're actually adding value and generating more? Because if you're not generating more, why would you stay hired somewhere? You understand? It's not like if you're doing anything creative, it's unlikely that you're going to go work for Universal, which just laid off 800 employees. You're probably going to go work at a smaller organization. How does it make sense for an employer to pay you something that you're not at least making back for them, right? It's not like you're working at some big corporation and you're just some cog in a wheel. You have to be generating value. And so this all goes back to skill set and what you're actually offering. So hopefully that's helpful. So anything around editing, Photoshop, titling, learning how to use generative AI, all that stuff is important for creative. Thank you so much for watching that video. Guys, I believe that one of the best ways you can build a business is by first building a platform online. So Zach Sparazzo put together a free training for you on the #1 metric you can be looking for to explode your YouTube platform. Click the link in the pinned comment below so you can start that now. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.